number 11 has made some missteps along the way, some mistakes. And he's trying to recover from that. And maybe when Hurts saw that and said, you know what, the first thing on my agenda is I got to make sure that I have the right relationships in place. I mean, come on, you guys have played at the highest possible levels there are in professional sports. You know it doesn't go anywhere unless you have a super pyrotechnic, superlative talent on your team who is going to carry everybody else. And we all know who those guys are. You have to have chemistry. You have to have relationships. You have to have the ability to trust one another in the critical situations. That doesn't happen by accident. That is not organic. That is something you have to work at, to make work, to get yourself from, okay, we're a team, to we're a good team, to we're a great team, to we are a championship team.
Just a reminder, as we move towards a championship team on Sunday, whether it's the Chiefs or it's going to be the Bucs, Sal will be hosting a special edition of the NFL Matchup Show, which you can actually see 3 times on Super Bowl Sunday. He'll also be there for postseason NFL Super Bowl Countdown Edition at 10 a.m. Eastern. And oh, by the way, Sal, don't think I didn't reference and listen to your Beatles comment there for Tom Brady, knowing you're the biggest Beatles fan on earth. So I'm glad you snuck that one in there. He loves the Beatles.
Yeah, listen, I think music and sports are the same. You know, you have the composition on paper, but you need the musical interpretation of the talent. You know, I make it's also anything in life. You know, I equate Tom Brady to the people who have done the greatest things in their particular discipline. Like, you know, Bill Belichick and Tom Brady, to me, go hand in hand, and people are taking shots at Belichick these days, and I don't know why. But, you know, I look at it like Bill Belichick was NASA, right? He built something that would take Tom Brady to the moon. But if you read anything about Neil Armstrong, and I have read First Man, a great biography of him, when Neil Armstrong gets the lunar module to the surface of the moon and he's looking for the Sea of Tranquility and he's running out of gas, he's got to pilot that thing and he's got to land it. He's got to stick the landing. So you may have NASA, you can build all the engineering you want in there, but you still need a pilot. You still need somebody with the joystick in their hand who's going to land that thing, who's going to stick the landing and bring the championship home. And I think that's the reason why, you know, you have to have a guy like Brady if you're going to try to win a Super Bowl. You need that one guy. Some people got it. Some people don't. Brady's got it. He's got the right stuff.
Mm-hmm. I caught that one, too, at the end. Very well done, Sal, with the right stuff commentary. And we should mention one of those fan bases will be over the moon Sunday night about 9:30 Eastern time. Sal, thank you so much.
All right, Sal, pal.
Hey,
Thanks,
it's always
Sal.
a pleasure being on the show. Thank you for having me. And stay positive, test negative, baby.
Indeed. That's
All day, baby.
Cliche of the moment. No question. Well said. And by the way, this is an ESPN-only joke. If Chuck Salatero is listening, just send out one more email based on the conversation we just had. My inbox is overflowing with them. It's a little ESPN joke. All right, so here's the thing. Nick Sirianni, he mentioned the whole Jalen Hurts thing. Jay brought it up, building relationships with my guys, saying all the right things. Number 11's making some wrong moves. Obviously, that's Wentz himself. So a couple of days ago, when I had the temerity to disagree or agree with Nick Sirianni, I got KILT, as Key would say, kilt, KILT. So on that track, I'm just going to independently listen to Nick Sirianni, for you, me, and everybody, on whether his most important decision and where he stands on it, the Eagles, on if he's ready to name a starting quarterback for his tenure, which is now underway in Philadelphia.
A core value, like you just mentioned, Angelo, is competition. And that's competition with the quarterbacks, that's competition with the wide receivers, that's competition with the DBs, that's competition everywhere, right? And so it's just everybody is going to compete. I'm going to compete with Shane on things, and we're gonna compete in the building with coaches, and everybody's gonna compete.
How about that? That was on 94 WIP. Deflection, right? Really exact. What's he going to do? Answer it today? He can't answer it today.
Well, I don't know if it's deflection. I think it's more about what he wants to do at the quarterback spot. It's an open competition, is what he just told me. It's an open competition without using the word open. So he says competition, da-da-da-da, everybody's... Once he said the quarterback position, open competition, because he has very little experience at doing press conferences or major interviews.
Sounds like it.
That he gets, right, Zubin? He gets caught. So then he wants to throw in, I'm going to be in competition with Shane. Well, first of all, you're not going to be in competition with Shane. So stop. Don't, you know what I'm saying? Like,
you're the head coach.
You're the head coach, man. You're not going to be in competition with Shane, which I think is his offensive coordinator. Yes. That probably will not be calling plays because he will be calling the plays. Shane just has the title. I get it. But he's navigating his way through, and it's okay to say that it's an open competition. You have yet to decide who your starting quarterback is going to be. It's okay to say that, but because of the lack of experience at answering these type of questions, he kind of backed himself up into a corner.
As long as Nick Sirianni wins, like, I don't really need him to be a politician. And I know it's important for coaches to be able to articulate what their plan is, and how you handle the media really dictates how the media treats you back if you're giving them enough insight. But at the end of the day, like, Carson Wentz needs to go take his damn job back. Like, if you want it, it should be an open competition. And actually, I would say that the way the season ended, Jalen Hurts has a slight advantage. And I love hearing Jalen Hurts talk about, I'm dealing with my guys. He's telling you that I look at this as my team. My team. And it's not a jab at Carson Wentz. It's not, hey, I'm taking a shot at somebody. It's just me and how I operate and how I look at my guys. And he's going into this battle saying, I want to take it. Now the question is, let's see if Jeff Lurie, the owner of the team, with the likes of a Carson Wentz, if this is a guy that you choose to stick with, let's see if he actually has the moxie to go take it and get it back and deserving of the money he got paid.
Well, a lot of people refer to their teammates, especially people that they deal with, as my guys.
Yeah.
Right? I have the fourth quarterback on the team, on practice squad, for me is my guy because he's throwing me the ball, warming me up. I know damn well he ain't going to never play. But he's my guy. I treat him as such. Now, I think Jalen Hurts is saying the same thing. These are my guys. I'm going to work out with them in the offseason. At some point in time, I wouldn't be surprised if you see some video on social media with Jalen Hurts and the wide receivers working out at some state with great weather down in Texas or Florida or California or somewhere where he's getting the quarterback tutelage and the receivers are there working out with him like you see a lot of quarterbacks doing. I've yet to see in Carson Wentz's tenure in Philadelphia anything remotely close to that. So it'd be interesting to see if that somehow comes to surface. Jalen Hurts just got to do what Jalen Hurts needs to do to impress the new staff if he wants to be the starting quarterback. But it goes back to what I said when he took over for Carson Wentz. I said in the offseason, they'll have a quarterback battle. Carson Wentz will win in the summer because that's just what will happen. He'll play the first 3 or 4 or 5 games, see where it goes, and if it doesn't look great, he'll be done as a Philadelphia Eagle if he does not get traded to Indianapolis on a monumental type deal.
Seen it a million times. The guy that they're more invested in not just financially. They're more invested in every single realm because you have to validate that particular pick. We'll see what happens. It's a fascinating situation, although a dangerous one to walk into for a first-time head coach in that city with that media. On the way, in a league that values youth at quarterback and at head coach, it's an AARP Super Bowl on the sidelines. We'll discuss